Tonight, a growing number of countries have formally recognised a Palestinian state. At the UN General Assembly meeting in New York, France announced it was following in the steps of the UK, Canada and Australia, with President Macron calling the move an essential step towards peace. Israel has accused those recognising Palestine of rewarding terrorism. Our diplomatic correspondent James Landale has the latest from New York.
The sky at night over Gaza, lit up by yet another Israeli bombardment. An attack that lasted until dawn, the smouldering aftermath, a reminder that here on the ground, diplomacy has failed. But in New York, it continues. World leaders gathered at the United Nations to discuss the war. France's president and several other European allies recognizing Palestinian statehood for the first time.
Nous devons tout faire pour préserver la possibilité même.
We must do everything within our power to preserve the very possibility of a two-state solution. Israel and Palestine living side by side in peace and security.
En paix et en sécurité. Je déclare.
This is why I declare that today France recognizes the state of Palestine.
The Palestinian leader and his team were banned from coming here by the White House, so he beamed in remotely.
We commend the positions of those countries who have recognised the state of Palestine. We call on those who haven't done so far to follow suit. We call for your support so Palestine can become a fully fledged member of the United Nations.
The question being asked here at the United Nations is how might Israel retaliate? Might it build more settlements or even annex part of the West Bank? Much will depend on what Donald Trump thinks and allows. And he's due here tomorrow. Israel is certainly furious. They boycotted the conference and their ambassador said recognition was a charade that left their hostages in Gaza abandoned.
When Hamas is praising this conference and calling it the fruit of October 7th, we know it's a problem. If a terrorist organization is supporting what's happening here, it's shameful.
More than three-quarters of the world's governments, almost 150, have long recognized Palestine as a state. But in the last 2 days, another 10 or so countries have joined their number, including 3 G7 powers, the UK, France and Canada. But Europe is not at one on this. Some countries like Germany think recognition should come only in the final stages of a peace deal. And in Italy, tens of thousands demonstrated across the country against Israel's war in Gaza and their government's refusal to recognise Palestine. In London, though, that same flag was being raised at the Palestinian diplomatic mission, soon to be its embassy, a sign, they hope, that the wind of international opinion is turning in their favour.
And James is in New York tonight. How important are these moves, James, given that the US won't recognise a Palestinian state?
Well, Jane, you're right. Declarations, announcements at the UN are not going to change the immediate daily reality for people on the ground in Gaza or the West Bank. But I think what President Macron and the other leaders want to do is to build momentum behind two things. One, just this idea that the prospect of a Palestinian state should not be allowed to die, but also in their view that Israel is increasingly isolated on the international stage. Now, you're right, everything depends on what the Americans think about this. We know the US diplomats boycotted today's conference. They didn't turn up. We know that Donald Trump opposes recognition. But no one knows how far he will go in allowing Israel to retaliate, because if Israel goes too far, if Israel, for example, starts annexing formally parts of the West Bank, they may disrupt their relationship with their Gulf allies. And the Abraham Accords, that deal that normalized relations between some Arab countries and Israel, is seen by Donald Trump as a key legacy of his first presidency. And he will not want to see that disrupted. So the president's here tomorrow, and there will be a lot of attention paid to what he says. Jane.
James, thank you. James Landale in New York.